Now here's a brand we haven't featured on the show very much, the storied French manufacturer Pilote. For the 2015 season, they've made a raft of improvements to their range of Pacific low profiles, starting with the fact that they're riding on the new Fiat Ducato cab. But there are many more improvements than that, so let's get right inside and have a look. The Pacific 716P features a French bed at the rear with a corner washroom and a whopping lounge up front. Let's talk briefly about the lounge in the fact that it's a very square seating group, so you get two people here, two there, and if you spin the cab seats, that's an extra two people. So incredibly sociable and fantastic to get everyone gathered around at meal times. Now, just in case you're wondering if the designers have gone a little bit half measures with this table, I can disabuse you of that fact. Just pull it over and, as the French would say, voila. Now, the great thing about buying a new van this season is, of course, the new Fiat Ducato cab. There have been a range of improvements, probably the most useful of which so far for me has been the gear speed indicator, which basically tells you when to shift gear. It's very useful and will help you manage your fuel economy. The other improvement of note is the new double cup holder between the driver and passenger chairs, Bluetooth connectivity so you can hook up your mobile devices, and the new car-like instrumentation. It's all part of a package of improvements that make the actual experience much better, but the driving quality is still pretty much unchanged and is that solid Fiat Ducato feel. So if there was any other reason to buy a new motorhome in 2015, the new cab has definitely very high on that list. Now, welcome to the commodious sleeping quarters at the back of the motorhome. Now, this is a new addition for the 2015 season, these pair of sliding doors. This replaces a curtain that was installed in 2014 models, and that basically customers preferred a more solid partition between the front and the back. This was fed back to the dealers, the manufacturer has listened, and this is the result, and I think it's a pretty good solution. Another clever solution is the area under the bed. Now, all you do, you just pull it up, and you have an absolutely enormous place to put basically touring kit and everything else. The clever thing Pilote has done is to take out the heater mechanism and stick it in the kitchen, which gives you this massive cavity that you can actually load from outside the vehicle by a proper hatch. Not some sort of apologetic letterbox, but an enormous hatch that you can actually feed all the items through. Very clever indeed. The corner washroom is pretty clever too. The shower has been sited at the back behind the swivel loo, but elsewhere you've got everything you need, including a vanity unit, a mirror, proper illumination, and a nice round sink. It's actually pretty good, and you can certainly use it for dressing, but then again you might not need to because you've got these double doors in the bedroom to make sure you have privacy at all times, day or night. Now, one of the slight downsides, of course, about buying a motorhome produced on the continent is that they don't always meet the needs of the UK cook. As we all know, us Brits like to have an oven and grill solution in the van. Most things that come across the channel will just have a solution that will just maybe be above the fridge freezer or in some sort of inhospitable part of the kitchen. For 2015, Pilote has basically added a unit on the correct side of the kitchen under the gas burners and near the sink so that cooks have got all those bases covered. The space that's been freed up where the oven and grill went last year, you can now use for a microwave, so taken in conjunction with all the other equipment, pretty much all bases are now covered in this kitchen. Now, everybody loves a drop-down bed in a motorhome, and I'm no exception. It gives me a real chuckle to be able to press the button and down it comes. Now, in this van, it's on the end of a cable with a little remote control, so it's extremely easy to operate. You get a memory foam mattress on beach slats, and there's even a pair of reading lights in the actual ceiling of the van, so you can actually enjoy yourself just before you nod off to sleep. Look at that, it deploys in seconds and it's enormous fun. The Pilote Pacific P716 in Sensation trim will set you back just over £55,000. There's loads of goodies on there that make it a very palatable buy in the UK. What I particularly like most of all is that fantastic front lounge. That square shape is so sociable. I think it's a great piece of design and it brings everybody into the area. The MTPLM is 3,500 kilograms with a 500 kilogram payload, so you can take this van pretty much anywhere. I think it's a great attempt, a great update from Pilote. With the new Fiat Ducato cab and the improvements we've just looked at, I think this is a cracking van for the money. The only slight thing to bear in mind is that the habitation door is on the UK offside. But if you're doing lots of touring in Europe where this was made, that's not going to be a problem at all.